Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Solo Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. Teach, play, and discuss medium and heavy strategy board games, war games 18xx. I am your host, Edward Euler. We're going to break out some Field Commander Rommel. You'll have to forgive me. We're playing with the original edition. I can't reach anybody over at Dan Verssen Games. So Field Commander Rommel, designed by Dan Verssen, published by Dan Verssen Games. I believe the edition I have, originally came out in 2008, and it looks like it. So I've heard the deluxe edition is a little bit prettier, a little bit nicer. But yeah, so we're playing with the original edition. I've had this it's been a day. I've had this for a number of years because it was pretty highly rated for a solo game. And if you were familiar with any of the other Field Commander games, this should feel pretty familiar. I'll be honest, I've yet to play Field Commander Rommel. We're going to be going through this together. But I've played Field Commander Napoleon a bunch and feel pretty comfortable with the system. This is the first game in that series, so it definitely seems a little bit more basic than like a Field Commander Napoleon, but we'll see today as we go along. So because this is a solo game, I'm not going to do a full teach up front. All I'm going to do is give an overview of what it is that we're going to be doing, and then we'll walk through the steps and we'll see if we can beat the system and succeed as Erwin Rommel, the Desert Fox. So yeah, we're playing on the side of the Axis. No commentary needed on that. Just, yeah, we're Rommel, who apparently was a pretty chivalrous dude and a gentleman as far as combat goes in old school. Now, it's debated. A lot of things about him are debated. But yeah, I would like to think the benefit of the doubt. But we'll see. All right. Yeah, so welcome everybody watching live around the world as well as after the fact. If you're watching live, sorry about the late start. XSplit issues, and that they said were resolved 8 months and going, still not resolved. So sorry about that, y'all. All right, but enough about that. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Let's go ahead and have some fun today, shall we? All right, so Field Commander, I almost said Napoleon because that's what I'm used to playing, honestly. All right, normally I wouldn't leave the stream in the middle of a stream like this, but apparently I left my glasses. So that I am going to need. So you guys enjoy the view, and I'll be right back because I'm going to need those for this one. I'm just glad I finally got tired of being stubborn about my eyes going sideways because I've never needed glasses my whole life. Yeah, so, all right, cool. Let's get into it, shall we? All right, let's find our groove here. All right, so a couple of caveats here that you guys are looking at. So here on the board, it comes with a few different maps, first and foremost. And when you think of Rommel, or at least when I think of Rommel, yes, Rommel had a part to play in as the Ghost Division here in 1940 France, but I think of him Desert Fox, right? So North Africa. However, this is the shortest of the three scenarios, and I thought this would be a good intro. Even though it is, from everything I've read, insanely hard to actually win this one. So, yeah, pick the allies on this one, on who's going to win. But what it is you're looking at over here is you have the map of, I guess this would be northeast France and Brussels area. You have Germany over here coming down around, heading towards Paris. So basically, we're talking about the spring of 1940. May and June of 1940, all right? So we have the map here. We have some number of counters out here, which I will go over here in a little bit. We have our supplies down here. We have the Allied operations there. And apparently my game doesn't have the campaign turn marker, so I'm just gonna use the little German die here that I have as well, all right? We have some supply markers that I'll be using to interchange here. However, there are a number of things here that are not standard. Okay, so this little player aid, if you will, as well as a little piece of paper that I've cut out. This is I believe this is in the deluxe edition as well as part of the boards, but it's not here, and it just helps streamline when it comes to resupply and everything for the Axis, which is us. So I went ahead and printed this off and put this up here. This does not come in the original edition, and this sheet of paper over here also does not come. All it is this map. And basically, I thought this would be a good way to graphically display everything, and this is available on BGG. That was in my copy when I got it, so that's probably on BGG. But I bought this used many, many moons ago. All right, so we'll go over how the flow of everything works here in a little bit. And then down behind the chat and everything, we have a few different opaque cups. This one is going to be for the Allied battle plans. This one is for the Ally reinforcements. And this one is going to be for the Ally operations. Now, technically, there is supposed to be a fourth one, which is going to be for upgrading. But honestly, all I'm going to do with this is just shake it up in my hand and just randomly grab one. So we'll just keep these stacked up until we need them there. All right. So that's basically everything you're looking at. Plus, oh yeah, there's a die. And we'll be obviously rolling a bunch of dice when it comes to combat and so on and so forth and everything that we need to do in this game. All right, so before we get started, I figure it kind of makes sense to go ahead and talk about setup for this specific map to give context. And like I said, I'm not going to do a full teach or anything, but again, a kind of flow of the game as we go along, all right? So moving over here, we have the setup, which is over here in the top left-hand corner of the board up there. And it specifies exactly for our scenario, how do we have this set up? All right, so it says the scale of what the counters are. Each counter represents a regiment, which is some number of men. That is strictly flavor, doesn't matter as far as game context, other than so you know the size of the units that are going up against one another. Then from there, we have the Axis starting forces. So the 25th Panzer, the 6th Schultzen, the 7th Schultzen, the 78th Art in Liege. All of these will start here in Liege. So if we take a look, all of my forces up here are right there in Liege. Take my word for it. That is Liege up there. All right. Then moving on down, the Allied starting forces, yada, yada, yada. So we have some in Brussels. We have some here in Dinant, one in Reims, some in Cambrai. And what is that? That is Arras. I'm going to butcher the French names. That's all right. If you're French, I apologize. So there we go. So those are the counters that start in the game per the setup there. All right. So then, how many supplies? We start with 3. The Allied start with 4. So we start with 3 here, and the Allies start with 4. Then the Ally operations, 1 force. So that marker is going to be down here. Now, one thing that I'm not entirely crystal clear on is whether or not I randomly draw a force and put it out there and then roll this die based on where it is. It's not entirely clear if you start with that, all right? All right. All right, then after that, the Axis reinforcements, those 3 units. Those 3 units are actually up here on my reinforcement chart up there, so you guys will be able to track them. It's going to be 1 infantry, 1 panzer unit, and then check that, 2 panzer units. Yeah, and there's 1 mechanized there, so no mechanized reinforcements for me. Allied reinforcements are all French forces. They start out, it's French, British, and Belgian forces, but all of them are French, and all of those will be over here in that cup, and we'll be drawing those randomly as we go along. Then there are campaign options. So if you want to scale the game, maybe it's too easy, maybe whatever, this is a way to make it harder. You can add in any number of these to make the campaign harder to be able to actually beat. All right. And then the victory condition. So what the hell is it we're trying to do? The campaign ends and you score victory points when you hold all 3 allied objectives. So what are the 3 allied objectives? Well, the 3 with the French flags. So Cambrai, Arras, is it Arras? We'll go Arras there, and Cherbourg. So once I have troops in all 3 of those, game ends, and then I'm going to score some number of victory points based on where the turn marker is here on this track on when I actually claim victory. So for instance, if I claim it there, I will get 26 points, as you can see right there. If this makes it all the way off the board, I lose. If I don't claim victory by July 10th. Okay, pretty simple, all right? And then, like I said earlier, that there are ways to make it tougher if you are a masochist and the game as it is not hard enough for you, all right? Cool. All right, so now, how do you actually play the game? Hell if I know, I'm kidding. But let's go ahead and run through here the sequence of play. I figured that's a good place to start, right? So sequence of play here. So it starts out with the axis, i.e. us. So we advance the turn marker, then we do a refit. Obviously, we're going to skip that in the first turn, but anyway. Then we'll do battle moves, resolve battles, get any upgrades, non-battle moves, supply check, and then an axis resupply. Okay. Then the allies, they fight back. They go through all of their steps. Now, the allies obviously is the AI. There's going to be a system for this, and we will walk through that system as we go along. Okay. And then there is a super simplified battle sequence here that I'm not sure really does that justice. It tells you, okay, do allied battle plans, then the axis battle plans, then resolve battle. Okay. Right. So it doesn't really spell that out, but thankfully there are player aids and helpful little reminders out there. Plus there's the rule book, and that's what we're doing here. All right. An actual force counter goes into the allied operation square to start with, a random draw. Thank you, David, for that clarification. All right. So, all right. So +1 force. So we will start off with that. That is an operation that goes into that one. And cool. I'm glad. David, I appreciate that. That was the first question that I had. So we randomly drew one, and we have the 26th Armored Division right there of the French. That will go there. Okay. All right, then we do the operation check. Then we will roll and got it. All right, easy enough. Cool. All right. So one other thing that I do want to point out is I'm going to be using a, I forget which one it's called, but it's basically a reminder little player aid that is on BGG that does a really, really good job of explaining everything. And honestly, I think it's better than the rule book. You use the rule book to reference stuff, but it does a really good job. So it has the setup, which basically we went through here, but it steps you through a little bit more detailed there. And then it runs through the game term, which is essentially here, and it has a lot more of the details for resolving the battle sequence. But then the axis turn, it spells that out a little bit better. And for resolving all battles, the nice thing is it's actually spelled out right here for the battle stuff. So it's a lot more detailed there. And then there is the ally turn. So that's what we're going to be using to walk through the game, since we don't have it completely memorized, as it were. All right. So without further ado, let's go and roll into it. So our goal is to have forces in those 3 locations. Earlier is better than later. On that note, one thing I do want to point out is anything where there are flags, if there are no forces whatsoever, then whatever country's flag is in there, it denotes that they control that location. So if there's no flag, say here in Paris, nobody controls that location. But even if this were vacated of all the Allied forces, this is still controlled technically by the Allies because it is their flag there. But as soon as a German unit is in there and they are the only unit in there, then they are the ones, the Germans are the ones that control it. All right? All right. I'll probably use Germans instead of Axis just because it's nasty playing the Axis side, right? All right, so there's that. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and roll into it then, shall we? So, sequence of play. Step 1, the Axis. That's us. Advance the turn marker. Whoop. Okay, done. Next one, refit. If any of your forces are flipped to their reduced side, you can flip them back for 2 supply counters or 2 supplies. Okay, well that's pretty simple. So let's go ahead and explain the counters a little bit more in detail right now to talk about that. So over here, and actually I'm going to move that right there. There we go. There. So each counter in the game has 2 sides. It has its standard size, which everything starts at its full strength, and then over here on its backside, it's going to have a red banner at the top, like you can see right there. That's going to be its reduced side. So whenever a unit takes damage, it can theoretically take 2 hits. The first hit will flip it, the second hit will remove it from the board. Okay, easy enough, all right? So if any of my units were damaged, I could then refit for the cost of 2 supplies. Reminder, we start with 3 supplies, but I don't need to do that, so don't need to worry about it. All right, moving on. Next step are what's called battle moves. Move any number of your forces, they must enter battle, meaning they must move into a location that has enemy forces. So for instance, I cannot move any of these forces over here into Luxembourg. Why? Well, because enemy forces are here. So if these are going to move at this point in my turn, they must move forward to Dinant. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the counters a little bit more in detail. You'll notice that there are 3, possibly 4 numbers on each of these counters. Pretty simply put, the first number is when attacking, the number you need to roll that or lower to be able to get a hit. The second number is when defending, you must roll that number or lower to get a hit. And finally, the third number is, of the big numbers, is the maximum movement that you can move. Now, there are some units out there on the board, and right now there are only 3 units in which this is the case. Taking a look at the 25th Panzer, there's a little subscript number, a little number 2, that you can see next to the 5. So when the 25th Panzer scores a hit, they must roll a 5 or lower, and they score a hit. Easy enough. However, if on that roll, they actually roll a 1 or a 2, so a 2 or lower, they actually score 2 hits. There you go. So it's just a powerful hit. All right, easy enough. So battle moves. You can move into battle where there is an enemy force, and that enemy force stops your movement. The first area that you move into is free. Each additional area is 1 supply per force. So technically, I guess I could go 1 for free and then spend a supply to then move into here, since technically that's where I'm stopping because there's an enemy force there. But why would I spend the supply point when all I have to do is say that? Boom, done. Okay, so that's the battle move. Any questions on that? No? Good, we're moving on. The 4th step now, here, right here, is resolve battles. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into it, shall we? So there's going to be a fairly sizable battle here. It's going to be 4 Axis units or 4 German units versus 2 French units there. So anytime we're going to resolve battles in all areas, wherever we have units until, wherever there are units of both sides, until only one side remains. Now, a battle consists of once through the battle sequence. Unless there is a specific battle plan in place, each battle is going to go through the system 1 time. And then that's it. Either you destroy all of the defending forces and you take over that area, or you bug out and go back from where you came. There are a little bit of exceptions from that, but that said, let's move on. If there were multiple battle places, so if there were a battle taking place here and a battle taking place here in Brussels, then they are said to happen simultaneously, and what happens in one battle cannot affect the outcome or the other battle location as well. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would I have all four of these against these two, and why not press on into Brussels with one of these units? And the reason for that is there's an enemy force here, so therefore as soon as my forces leave from Liège and move into Dinant, they're pinned, if you will, by these French forces. They cannot move on into Brussels at first. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the combat. All right, so first step here is going to be drawing allied battle plans. All right, so we will actually go ahead and move this over now, over to yonder. There. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to move these counters. I have to remember that I'm the bad guys here, so their units will come on over to there. My units will come on over to there. And we'll go ahead and... Okay. All right. So we need to draw the allied battle plans. All right. Now, the amount of battle plans that each side is going to be able to draw is going to be dependent on the actual map that we're playing. So let's go ahead and move on down over here. So over here where it says, wait for it, battle plans. So we look down here at the bottom, Axis and the Allies. Allies are going first here. So we draw the Allied battle plans. How many do we draw? Well, for each full Allied unit, meaning it is not on its diminished side, they draw one battle plan. If it's on its reduced side, meaning it's been damaged, it counts as 0 battle plans that you can draw. Then the number of supplies that the Allies have will dictate how many additional battle plans they will be able to draw and the total cost, period, for drawing that. And that is always compulsory. So in other words, the Allies currently have 4 supplies. So you notice here that it's going to be below the 5. So therefore, each full Allied unit is going to get them 1 battle plan. So they have 2 units. So they're going to draw 2 battle plans. But if they had, say, 6 supplies, they would draw 1 additional plan, and that would cost them 1 of their 6 supplies to a total cost, or so they would go from 6 to 5 supplies. Easy enough. But as it is, they have 2 full Allied units, so they're going to draw 2 battle plans. All right? And so I don't have to keep pinging back and forth. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I'm going to have. Each full German unit is going to draw 2 battle plans. And then each reduced German unit will draw 1 battle plan. And each supply that it shows that it costs is going to cost 1. And I'll explain that here in a little bit. So, getting back to this. They have 2 units, so they're going to draw 2 battle plans. And I need to remember which one I put it in. It's this one right here. So let's go ahead and draw for them. And also, over there on the battle plans, it says which ones are available for each side, but just take my word for it that they're all here in the cup. So those are their 2. Okay, so now that we have drawn their 2, the next step is for us to select our battle plans. Okay, now how many are we allowed to draw? We're allowed to draw a maximum of 4 battle plans. Okay, now our battle plans are actually up here, and I have them kind of separated into 4 different groups. All of these up here cost 1 supply point. Each of these cost 2 supply points. Then 3 supply points, and finally 4 supply points. Okay, and you know what? I don't have one zoomed in for this, so let's go ahead and fix that, shall we? Let's go ahead and hook this up for you guys. Is that pretty clear? I think that's pretty clear. There we go. All right. All right. So, now that we have that done, let's go ahead and take a look at what their battle plans were that they drew. They have a tactics. They get to re-roll one roll and one random reinforcement force. Yay. All right. Well, so they draw one random reinforcement. And let me double check. I believe that happens right now. Let me take a look at those. There we go. Before the start of the first round of battle, draw one allied force at random from the allied reinforcement cup. Add it to the battle. If they do not have any forces available, draw a battle plan instead. Alrighty. Yay. So, let's go and draw another one. Do I? Oh, I do. Thank you. Whoop. Problem solved. Thank you, David. All right, so we drew the first arm. Oh, all right. Well, that kind of sucked. So this one is done there. And they're going to be able to do a re-roll. All right. So now we get to choose ours. So let's go ahead and take a look at what ours are up here. So going left to right, disrupt. That's going to basically take supplies from them. So there's that. Cohesion, combine 2 infantry and or motorized values. Okay. Tactics, I can re-roll. I can press, which means we're going to have one more round of battle. AT guns, if I roll, so it's a 1 in 3 shot for a one-shot hit right there. Then for the 2 supply points, intel is -1 random enemy plan. Okay. All right. Exploit, advance if all enemy is destroyed, so we'll be able to continue moving forward. Air raid is a little bit better than the AT guns, so 50-50 hit percentage. Then moving in, the dig in absorbs a hit. That's nice. The overrun is for a +1 attack, +1 defense. Again, if you're familiar with Field Commander Napoleon, this is going to sound very familiar. And artillery, you have to play it really, really loud. So 1 hit or 2 hits, and assault, 1 armor or motorized that scores a hit, scores a +1 hit. We have 3 supplies. Hey, 3 Dog, welcome. We have 3 supplies. Now, I am the attacking unit, so therefore, whenever I roll, we're going to be rolling based on the first number for each of ours, and for defending, they're going to be rolling for the middle number for each of theirs. There's a part of me that really wants to get the press just to make sure that we're going to be able to defeat them. You know, Rommel was known as being very decisive and getting things going really, you know, and just bam, hitting them hard and fast. And I feel like I'm taking way too long on this for decisions. I think, I mean, there's a part of me that thinks we should do all 3 of those. We get a free reroll, we'll get another round of combat, and we get a free pot shot on them. This is the 1940 France Ghost Division campaign. Hey, Steven. Well, we can get 4 of them actually, can't we? But well, no, technically we can get a max of 3 because we only have 3 supplies. So, So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and take press because I want to make sure that I defeat these units here. And I want to take the tactics because I'm worried the last game I played, I went ahead and used all my good rolls in. And so then, you know what? Let's go ahead and try and get a free pot shot. So that's going to be all three of our supplies. So our supplies are now spent. Done. All right. All right. So now we go into battle resolution. All right. So easy enough. All right. So let's walk through how that works. Each battle has only 1 round unless pressed. So again, I have pressed, so it's going to go 2 rounds potentially. All right. Determine the total number of hits for each force in the area and apply the battle plans. Okay. So I roll for each attacker in the area. So I have each of these are going to roll for hits. So let's go ahead and start with that. And I will do it in that order. So I need a 2 or less, 2 or less, 3 or less, and then ideally a 2 or less, but a 5 or less. So let's go ahead and check it out. So 2 or less. Good. 1 hit. Miss. Now I need a 3 or less. Miss. I need a 5 or less. Ideally a 2 or less. Okay, so that's going to be a total of 2 hits. All right, so here we'll go ahead and put our little marker right there. That's going to be 2 hits that we have. Easy enough. Now each defender is going to see whether or not they punch back. So they're going to be rolling for the middle numbers. So 2, 3, and 3 or less. So we want bigger numbers for them. So 2, 3, 3. Miss. And now 3s and 3s. Hit. And hit. Of course it did. Okay. So 2 hits each. Okay, so we'll just we'll do it this way. And you know what? In hindsight, give me just a second. There we go. So 2 for the Germans and 2 for the Allies. There we go. Oh, you're right. Thank you. The 3 supply points are if I want to spend for additional battle plans. That's right. That's a good point. We actually can draw a 4th one then, can't we? That's a fair point. That's a really good point, guys. Thank you. So you have 8 battle plan points. And I can draw up to 4. I can spend... Okay. So hold on. That's a good point. So we're going to restart all of the hits and everything. We'll start everything back over. Good call. So, thanks, Mega Atlas and David. So we have a total of 8 points, and we can take a total of 4 battle plans. So you know what? Let's go ahead and break out some artillery. So that's 4 of our 4 points. We will get 1 reroll as well, so that's a total of 5. So we have 3 more points in which to be able to spend for up to 2 more without spending any supply points. And we will go ahead and press. So that's going to be a total of 6. And let's go ahead and do an air raid. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, so let's start that over, shall we? So first things first, and I need to remember that he has a re-roll here, as do we. So, and each of these, I believe, get assigned to each unit. I believe so. I already took the supplies back. I got them. Don't worry. Oh, trust me. So yeah, I think that's good. I'm good with that. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and roll for our air raid here. All right. So we need a 1 through 3, and it's going to hit on a 1 through 3. And then you apply hits based on the lowest value for the allies. Full side forces first, then reduced forces, and then from lowest to highest defense value. So in other words, it would be the 4th, and then I would roll a die to figure out which of those 2 it would be. All right, so we're going to roll for our air raid. So 1 to 3 is a hit. Well, kaboom. All right, so that's going to be 1 hit, and our air raid is now done. All right. And then we'll go ahead and roll for our artillery. Artillery, a 1 or a 2 is 2 hits, and a 3 is 1 hit. So we want to roll really, really low. All right, it's a 3. I'll take the hit. That's fine. So that's going to be 2 hits. There. Our artillery's done. And now we get to actually begin to start rolling for our units. So it's going to be a 2, a 2, a 3, and a 5, one of which I'll be able to re-roll. So technically these don't get assigned. Fair point. So there we go. So 2, 2, 3, and a 5, and I'll choose one of which to re-roll as I see. Here we go. That's 1 hit. That's a miss. Not going to use my reroll. Now it's a 3 or less. That's a miss. I will use my reroll now, so I need a 3 or less. That was good, so that's going to be 2 hits now. And the final one is a 5 or ideally a 2 or less. That's 3 hits all day. So 3 plus 2 is going to be a total of 5 hits. Nice. And we used our tactics. There we go. So we have 5 hits. That's going to be 6 to be able to destroy them. Now, even if I'm going to be able to destroy them, they still get to... artillery and air raids stay out there. Fair point. Because for every round, and because normally they would go back, but because we have the press, potentially, there you go. Thank you, Mega. All right, so now, for him, even if they're going to get eliminated, they still get a chance to punch back. So middle numbers 2, 3, and 3, and they have a reroll. Now, on this one, I'm not sure when they decide to use their tactics. So a moment. Have them re-roll the first of their die rolls that results in a miss or no effect. Once re-rolled, the new roll must be used. All right, easy enough. So it's going to be a 2-3-3 for them. Here we go. Well, that's a hit. No re-roll needed there. Really? Can we stop with this? And now a 3 or less. Okay, so now they're re-roll. Wow. Wow. I thought the French laid down in World War II. What's up with this? Seriously. 3 hits. They could not have done better. Wow. Okay. All right. So now we allocate. So sum up the hits by either side and allocate them to the opposing sides. If the hits that come to me, I choose how they get. How my units get hit. And then for them, it's in the order in which I said. So basically, 2 of these units are going to get eliminated. So full strength, full strength, full strength. So there's 3 of the hits. That leaves 2 hits left to be accounted for. Lowest to highest defense value now. So lowest, that one's going to go away. And this, we're actually going to put up there. Okay? All right. And then for the second one, I believe that we choose it random. It actually calls out whenever you have to make a decision. Here we go. The rules will provide you with possible choices in what you should do. If the rules leave you with more than one equally valid option, you can choose whichever you like. Well, if that's the case, let's go ahead and get rid of the first army there. All right, so because those 2 are equal, we'll go and get rid of that one. Done. All right, and now that that is done, that is all 5 of the hits allocated there. So that one's done. So now I have to take hits. And the one thing that I want to see real quick is about tactics and whether or not those stay out there with the press. 1. So a moment. Discard the press and resolve another round of battle. Continue until no press counters remain. Okay, all right, easy enough. So the tactics are not held. These go away. I am going to figure out where I have battle plans. I'm going to move these over to there. There we go. And that battle plan will go back in because it's essentially going to restart. All right. All right. So now I have to allocate 3 hits to me. So we will go ahead and go 1 there. We will go 1 there. And now I want to look at both of my... I imagine the Panzer is going to stay. So I could do that, or I could just eliminate a unit. I only have 4 units on the board. But rolling 1s is really hard. So you know what? I'm going to keep that. So that's 2 of the hits. And I'm sorry, but the 6th is going to go away. There. All right, so now remove destroyed forces. Those go into my destroyed pile, and technically, to be clear, the allies come up here, and then the Axis destroyed go up there. Then relocate the surviving forces. However, there is a press. So in that case, we're going to do another battle round. Okay, easy enough. All right, now, because it's a battle round, and with the press, I believe everything restarts. Except, no, I think you just go straight, check that. I think you actually just go straight into rolling the dice. Resolve another round of battle. Oh, the terminology that it chooses to use here. Because the fact that the air raid and the artillery stay, I'm going to assume that it's strictly into, okay, we've already allocated battle plans, no more battle plan stuff comes out. It is simply rolling dice, etc., etc. Okay? So if that's the case, we need to discard the press, because we have now used that up, and now we're going to get into rolling of the dice. But again, air raid and artillery hit first, so here we go. So we'll start with the air raid. 1 to 3 is a hit, and then the artillery is going to be 1 to 2 is 2 hits, a 3 is 1 hit. All right, so 1 to 3 is 1 hit, miss, and now artillery, miss. Oh, where? Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm trying to cheat against myself. The Panzer didn't take the hit. Thank you. So both the artillery and the air raid missed the 5th dim. So, okay, now we're going to roll. So we are just rolling straight 1, 3, and 5. There we go. Miss. Need a 3 or less. Exactly, right. Yeah, I agree, Mega. And now a 5 or less. I was gonna try and flip the table at that point. Whew. It's only 1 hit, but we only needed 1. And now he is going to roll a 2 or less. Well, in theory, but let's hope he doesn't. All right, he missed. So there we go. All right, so I took no hits. He takes 1. So this one will then come on up, and boom. We've removed the destroyed forces. Relocate surviving forces. If all the defenders have been destroyed, leave the attackers in the area. If there have been some some defender forces are left, withdraw the attacking units to an adjacent area where they entered from. And forces that entered via deploy battle plan, they can withdraw to an adjacent area of your choice. Now, earlier I'd mentioned that there is an exception to that rule. There is that exception, okay? All right, so we go ahead and bring these guys back out to Dinant. And yeah, technically you're right, the Maginot Line, I guess. But we're coming up around the Maginot Line, right? I mean, all right, so let me reset these. There, and artillery. By the way, anything, just play it loud. It's a Good Morning Vietnam reference. Bob from Artillery. Anyway, all right, moving on. Okay, so relocated the surviving forces. We have now taken over Dinant. Okay, upgrade forces on both sides. For each destroyed force, the opposing side upgrades one of their own forces. Okay, now, on that note, they have no surviving forces, so I'm going to assume that those upgrades, surviving combat. Correct. So, if you take a look, I have 3. We'll keep it there. I have 3 allied forces that were destroyed. So therefore, I either draw an upgrade counter from that, or if I already have one that's on its veteran side, you flip it over to its elite side. Okay? And you can only have 1 upgrade per unit. Okay? So this stack here, basically all that's going to happen is I'm going to take these, I'm going to shuffle them up, and randomly assign them top to bottom. Okay? Okay, so here we go, not looking. I will take this one for the infantry. And you know what? Hold on. There we go. So that's going to be assigned to the infantry. Then that one is going to be assigned to the 78th Art. I assume that is artillery, but it's mechanized. Artillery, I guess? All right. Well, they're better on defense, but he gets a subscript, so I guess there's that, but ugh. Okay. And the last one for the Panzer unit, this. All right, that's better. They automatically hit, and they will hit 2 hits on a 3 or less. That's better. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So now all the remaining ones will go back where they were. There we go. So basically, I'm just going to move it, and whatever's to the right of it is the attached counter. Okay? All right. So those have been upgraded, and obviously, if he had any surviving forces, then he would get an upgrade as well. Okay? All right. The numbers on the upgrade counters add to the force. That's obvious. When an upgraded force is destroyed, the upgrade counter is returned back to the supply, obviously. And when you refit an upgraded force, decrease the upgrade level by 1. So in other words, interesting. Okay. So in other words, because this one is on its damage side, if I refit it, this will go down 1 step, the veteran. And the veteran, down 1 step is back to the supply. So when I flip this over to its healthy side, I lose that. But ironically, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So honestly, it buys me an extra hit, but it doesn't help me, right? Other than buying me another hit, which can be pretty important, I would think. All right. Good. Then remove the battle plans back to their designated areas. So in other words, the battle plans for me come back up here. His go back into the cup to be drawn again on a subsequent turn. Okay. All right. Next step now is non-battle moves. Any number of your forces that have not moved in the battle moves, any forces that didn't move in the battle move step can now move. It works just like battle moves, only the move forces cannot enter where there's an enemy force. So, okay, that makes sense, right? Okay. Then, supply check. The campaign map is divided into regions by thick lines. So, you can see here, that big thick line there, there's that one there, there's one just around Luxembourg, etc., right? There is a white truck icon with a number in it under each region. So there's that, there's that. That is the maximum number of Axis forces allowed in one area in that region. For each excessive force, you either receive 1 hit to any force in that area or you pay 2 supplies. And allies do not have to execute supply check. All right, so I'm looking at this, and I believe the only areas that matter are basically because, yeah, I think that's only this area here and this area there, right? And it's a maximum of 2. Let me double check. Oh, I think I understand this now. No, check that. Everything is a limit of 2. Hey, Weathered, what's up? Because I'm looking at the example that's in the yeah. Huh. No, it's not. So hold on. Okay, I see how they're looking at this now. If you look at this dark line that comes up here, there, and then comes down around there, all of this area here is going to be a limit of 2. So once I cross this line, it now has a limit of 2 units per. And then this area back over on that side of the line is going to have a limit of 2. All right? So in other words, everything in the northeast corner looks to be exempt of that, if I am correct, because there is no truck over there. So it's 2 regions, truck 1 here, which is going to be for every Calais, Lille, and everything over here. And then number 2, or the other area, is going to be Paris, Reims, and Cambrai. I believe so. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Why have these dark lines over there? I think so. And there's no other truck up here in the northeast area. So I think that's going to be the case. All right, so assuming that's the case, now we go into resupply, access resupply. This step gives you the long-awaited crates of food, fuel, ammo, and fresh troops you so desperately need. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look now up here at the access resupply. Yonder, okay? That is not at all, oh, hold on. Let's try that again. There we go. So looking at this area over here, and we're going to stack these guys up in the Destroyed Allied Forces box. All right. So now, resupply points. 2 per Allied objective held, 2 per Axis force that did not move this turn, 1 per Allied force destroyed since the last resupply step. So 2 per Allied objective, 0 in that case. Okay, 2 per Axis force that did not move this turn, also 0. 1 per Allied force destroyed, that'd be 3. All right. So then down below, pay 1, receive 2 supplies, or pay X, where X is the force attack value. So I have a total of 3 here in which to be able to mess around. Nice, 3 Dog, setting up OCS. Woo! OCS is one that I have not been willing to tackle quite yet. So there we go. Determine number of resupply points. Once you've determined, move the destroyed Allied forces back to their reinforcement cup. So we have 3 points. So here we go. And these guys will go back into their cup. All right. And any not spent are lost, so you might as well spend them all. Oh, and in addition to that, look at that little chart up here at the top. We have an Access Destroyed pile, right? I can spend 2 supplies per force to move it over into the reinforcement pile. All right, so hold on one sec. When buying forces, the cost of each force is You can also pay supplies to move your forces from your destroyed pile to your reinforcement pile, and it's 2 supplies to move each force. And then the Axis Resupply section of the map specifies the areas you can place your new forces. In some cases, an area must be held by the Axis in order to use that area. Well, duh, right? That makes sense. It may spark a battle immediately, but as it is, So if I'm looking at this right, to be able to get new forces, spending those points, if I'm looking at this correctly, they can either come into Liege, or from Liege, right? Okay. If held, Liege, Lille, and Paris. Let's see. No, I have to own Paris to be able to come in here. I own Liege already because it has my flag. And Lille, I have to own already, and I have to own Calais as well as Caen. So, all right, so never mind. I was thinking I could kind of swing around, but that thematically that just wouldn't make any sense. Okay. So now I have 3 points here. Now with that, I have these units up here as well. Ooh. Man. Hey, Renee. Appreciate you saying that on Twitter. Thank you today. Man. So what I'm looking at here basically is I could bring in the Tutton Cup in here for all 3 of my resupply there. I still have 3 supplies, so I'm okay here, I think. Oh, I need forces. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to spend all 3 of these up here. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. So I'm going to spend all 3 of these, and it's going to be the forces attack value. So it's going to be these guys are going to come in to Liege like that. Boom, done. All right, so that's our resupply. So in other words, these guys are going to hang out where they are. They're not available to me yet. And done. Good. I'm happy with that. Well, relatively speaking. All right, so next, the ally game turn now. They're going to do their stuff. All right, so here we go. They refit their forces from the highest attack value to the lowest. They have nobody damaged out there, so I'm not going to bother with that. All right. Then, Allied operation check. During each campaign, the Allies are always working on a force buildup. Draw 1 Allied operation counter during this step. If it is the go counter, the Allies have kicked off an operation. All right. So if it has more forces, if you draw, so let's see, hold on there. Draw 1 Allied operation. So now, hold on. At the beginning of the game, they start with a force here. So the question I have is that force in addition to adding another Allied operation check? When the go counter is drawn, the Allied forces in the Allied operations section enter play. Roll once on the operation chart for aha. There we go. There's our answer. So, with that said, we are going to draw one of their battle plans, like it says. So this is looking at down here in the bottom left. Okay, now it all makes sense. All right. So here we go. We are going to draw, and we draw this. A +1 force. So there we go. Draw a force from the Allied Reinforcement Cup and add it to the operation forces. And these do not come into play until we draw the go counter. Now, to let you guys know, there are... Oh, there it is. But I kind of like the how that is. All right. Those are the available ones, so you can see that there is a 1 in 7 chance. So it's possible, theoretically, that the go never gets drawn. Let's hope. All right, so we will go and throw that back into the cup, and then we will draw one more reinforcement for them. And it is, oh, nice. 4th. Not bad. Okay. So I'm going to actually kind of keep them out like this so collectively we can see instead of just stacking them up. If I were playing by myself, I probably actually would do the same thing. So yeah, that works out. All right. So that was the operation counter. Okay. Not going to worry about when you draw a go, because we'll worry about that when that happens. Okay. So now we go into Allied orders. The Allied forces will proceed moving and battling along the chart that is on the map, region by region. Aha, that's going to be up in the top left-hand corner. And let's see if we need to move that. That's pretty good. I think that fit. There we go. So, Allied orders for each region. For Allied forces in an objective, if one or two Allied forces in an objective, then hold. If three or more Allied forces in an objective, then one force with the highest attack value advances. Then, for Allied forces not in an objective, well, let's go ahead and do that one at a time, okay? Roll for each region and carry out the orders before continuing on to the next region. All right, so now let me go ahead and find advance. Move each force, each of their forces, one area directly toward the closest axis force. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So if there are three or more Allied forces in an objective, so we're talking specifically here in Cambrai, okay, because there are three or more in there. So if so, then one of them with the highest attack value is going to advance. Well, they're all the same. So we'll just go ahead and start with the 10th Durham. So the advance says they move toward the closest axis force. If there is more than one equally, there isn't. Clearly, it's going to go into there, I believe. Let's see. If there is more than one equal or more than one option, you just alternate until they're equal. Okay, good. Easy enough. So then, that's the other one, the guys that are in Arras, they are going to hold because there are two of them specifically. So, okay. So that took care of two groups. Then, for Allied forces not in an objective, we're going to roll a d6. Okay? So, but it also note +1 per Allied force in the region, and -1 per axis force in the region. Well, both of those are zeros, so no adjustments, so we're just going to roll normal. So we'll go ahead and start with the one in Brussels, then we'll do the one in Reims, okay? So here we go. Brussels is a 5, and Reims is a 2. So Brussels as a 5 is going to be random. We'll come back to that. And then Reims is going to be 2. It says Cherbourg, which is going to be way over on the western part of the map. So let's see there. Area name. When an order lists the name of the area, the order works the same as an objective, except the Allied forces move towards the name area. Move their forces one area towards where it's supposed to go. If all the objectives, if they can avoid axis forces, they will. Okay. So Reims is going to move towards Cherbourg. So closest way, they're going to go ahead and drop down to Paris because it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy enough. All right. But the one in Brussels was a random. Random says each of their forces move to a randomly chosen adjacent area. Okay. Well, there are, by my count, 4 areas that are adjacent. Dinant, Cambrai, Lille, and Calais, because they can cross over there. So I would say that 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we'll re-roll if it's a 5 or a 6. 4. So they're moving into Calais. I hear it's wonderful this time of year. There we go. Those are the Allied orders. Oh, and a moment real quick. Okay, got it. Nope, that's it. And then now they're going to do their resupply. All right. Allied resupply. The Allied resupply section of the map has a die roll table used to determine da-da-da-da-da. So Ally resupply is going to be up there in the top left. All right, so we're looking at this little chart up here. It says roll once for each. Cairn, Calais, and Paris. And then they're going to get something. And then +3 if the axis holds the area. Well, I don't. So that's Caen, Calais, and Paris. There we go. All right, so let's see what we do. So it's just going to be straight up die rolls. 2, we'll do them in the order listed too. 1 and 5. Okay, 2. Am I reading that right? That they get nothing? 2, 3, and 5? So they will get 4 supplies. And that's it. So they're up to 8 supplies. Oh, shoot, they did. There's going to be a battle. Thank you. Thank you, David. My bad. All right. So check that. We will redo all of their supply stuff here in a minute. I forgot. They have a suicide mission over here. So there's going to be a battle. Thank you. So let's go ahead and work through the battle again, which, as you guys saw, pretty simple, relatively speaking. They have 4 supplies. They are going to get 1 battle plan because they have 1 unit. So let's go ahead and move them over. You know what? This is going to be pretty quick. So I'm not going to bother moving all of the counters. So they're going to get 1 battle plan. So we'll draw that. Deploy 1 random reinforcement force. Can we stop drawing that? Like, that'd be cool. All in favor? Aye. I jinxed it by saying, oh, this will be quick, right? My own fault. All right, at least it wasn't horrible. All right, so that's him. Now we are going to move these over. All right. So this is done now, essentially, so that's going to go back. All right. So now, give me just 1 second. All right. Okay. Oh, now all right. So I have a full, and a reduced. That's going to be a total of 5 BPPs, battle plan points. Now I get it. So I get 5 points total in which to be able to do stuff. It's really hard to not want to do that. So that's 2 of my 5 that I have. I kind of like that absorb one hit all of a sudden. The dig in. I think I like that. That's going to be a total of 5 right there. I like that. Yeah, all right. So there's our battle plans. And the dig in, just to be clear, and the question I have is for, okay, well, actually, let me look at the air raid real quick. Per battle round. Okay, it will specifically say per battle round if it stays for with the press. So the tactics and the dig in are just spent whenever whenever you use them clearly. So all right, easy enough. Good. All right, so now we're going to roll. Now notice he is the attacker this time, so he's going to roll first. He's rolling the bigger number. I'm rolling the middle number, right? So he's rolling a 2, then a 3, and that's it. So 2 or lower, miss. 3 or lower, hit. However, I will go ahead and use my dig in now to absorb the hit. Done. So he is at 0 hits. Okay, cool. So now for us, we're rolling the middle number, but again, we get the adjustments, right? So this is going to be a 2, this is going to be a 3, and this is going to be a 3. We ignore the first one. So 2, 3, 3, and I get 1 re-roll to use when I want. 2, 3, 3. Not going to use it there, so they miss, and now a 3 or lower. That's a hit. I'll take it. And a 3. I'll go ahead and use it. And that'd be a whiff. So that's going to be a total of 1 hit there. All right, so 1 hit, it's going to be on the weakest of the numbers, so it's going to be there. Done. So my re-roll is done, and now we're going to press and have another round of attacks. So again, he's going to be rolling a 1 and a 3 respectively. That was 5, wasn't it? It was, hold on. Oh yeah, dig in is 3. Re-roll. No, that was 5. That was 5, Merrick. That was 5. Do I want to? Oh, wait. I forget. If I don't press, he bugs out. He goes back to where he came from, doesn't he? Oh, maybe I don't want to press. You're right. I was thinking that I'm you. Yeah, you're totally right. So if that's the case, then instead of pressing, I probably would have chosen the AT gun. So let's go ahead and just roll for that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So a 1 or a 2, that's a hit. Excellent. So if that's the case, both of those would have got damaged, like so. Okay, good call, good call. And that's it, that's the end of the fight. So because there are survivors on the defending side, these guys will have to come back from where they came from, which is going to be Reams. Both of them are going to be on the damage side. The reinforcement came in, that's unfortunate, but at least they didn't get hurt. Yeah, totally didn't even think about that. All right. Okay, cool. So that is for the battle. So real quick, allocate hits. He didn't hit any. I hit 2 technically. 1 for the AT gun and then 1 in actually battle. No destroyed forces. Relocate the surviving forces. Upgrades. Nobody was destroyed, so there's no upgrades. And then remove the battle planes. Boom, done. So he's done. Now he's going to go into resupply. All right. Cool. So we're going to roll for each resupply area on the map. If the area is held by the opposing force, immediately resolve a full battle. And if there aren't enough forces, they get 2 supplies. Okay. Well, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be, though. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and do this now. So for Cairn, is it Can? C-A-E-N. Cain? Can? We're going to go with Can. Calais and Paris. And then going to roll a d6, and it's a +3 if the Axis holds the area. We don't. So basically, a 1 through 3 is wasted for him. So it's going to be, we'll roll 3 times, and whatever numbers come. We'll try that again. That's a wasted 1. That's a wasted 1. And a 5. Isn't that exactly what we rolled last time, I think? So I guess it was meant to be. So it's going to be they gain 4 supplies. That's going to be significant because that's going to move them from 4 to 8 supplies now. And 8 is going to be a important number for them when it comes to being able to get battle plans. Okay? Okay, cool. All right. So then, after they are done with their resupply, we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys this. So we have gone through all of their steps, and this is just the battle sequence, which we've gone through a few times. That's it. That's the end of the first round. So now we're going to advance to May 20th. So advance the turn marker. Okay. How the hell? Like, how are you getting... Like, for those of y'all that have played this, hey, Bernardo, how the hell are you doing this in turn 2? How are you taking over all 3 of those areas? How are you, like, physically making it to Cherbourg? Because from where you start, that is at it, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots? I mean, the 25th Panzer can only move 3. I got nothing. All right. Okay. So we advanced turn marker, now refit. Do we want to refit? Basically, do we want to flip this over? We would lose that, but we would gain a hit. And it costs us 2 of our 3 supplies. But man, no. The answer is just no. It's going to be cannon fodder. I'm just not gonna. All right, so battle moves. Okay. No other places matter except for Cambrai, Arras, and Cherbourg. That's my goal, is to beeline to Cherbourg, right? So don't even bother with Reims. Okay, so the Totenkampf, they can move 2. That is 1 free movement, and then from there it costs 1 supply to move them an additional spot up to the max of their movement, which is the 2 number on there. These guys are going to go ahead and come on down to Cambrai. They've moved. Man, I really want to take this Panzer unit and come around to come here, but those 2 tanks, the RTRs, those are scary, and I don't want them to come in by themselves. I got to get these other reinforcements out. So... The Panzer unit's going to move forward. There. The 78th, I think, is going to join them. Yeah, I think so. Now, I realize that there's a limit of 2, but that's not checked until supply check. And there is an exploit which allows you to advance if the enemy is destroyed. So I think we're going to focus on that. And we're going to go ahead and bring all 3 of these in and not move the 7th Schutzen right now. I think so. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it, I wish I would have seen that. Good call. Yep, that makes sense, David. Thank you. All right, cool. Yeah, so there's going to be our battle movement. Now we're going to get it on. Oh, well, yeah, hold on. Let me look at exploit real quick. Attackers, give me a second. It costs 1 supply for each force moved afterwards, so I would want a 3rd supply. Damn it. Woo! Yeah, we're still going to do it. Done. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move our units over. Tyneside and Durham. These guys will come on over there. All right, so here we go. So he's going to draw. He has 8 supply points. So he's going to get +2 plans, and he's going to lose 2 of his supplies, so he's going to be down to 6. We'll just do it this way, because that's what I found. So he's at 6 supply afterwards. So he's going to get 1 battle plan for each ally full unit, 1, 2, plus another 2, and that cost him 2 supply points for a total of 4 battle plans. That sucks. Thank you, Christopher. All right, so he's getting 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So let's look at what he drew. Ooh, wow. He drew 2 presses, a disrupt, and a dig in. Wow. Okay. And the disrupt is going to potentially make me lose supply. Oh, you suck, dude. And this is going to be a fight to the death because it's going to go 3 rounds. Okay. All right. So what do we have? We have full German units. We have 3 of them, so that's going to be 6 points. And there's a 50% chance I'm going to lose all of my supply. So do I spend both of it to get more BPPs? I think we do, because screw it. Oh, but if I do, then I'm going to take an additional hit because I won't be able to get out of there. You suck! Oh, that is a tough spot because I'm talking about with the exploit because I'm limited here by 2 per area. So one of them is going to have to advance probably to Amin. Okay. So that's going to be a total of 6, I think. Okay. Well, hold on. What is the order of the activations of the battle plans, right? Because he draws them. He draws them, so we get to see what they are, then we get to draw. And then it says resolve the battle. This is a crappy rule book, just FYI. Because then my question is, does intel happen before any other plans take effect? So intel, I can make that go away. Okay. And it's a random one though. Damn it. It's worth it to me. So that's going to be 2 of my 6 points. That's 5 to absorb a hit. And a reroll. Well, I did say, oh, but then I need the exploit to be able to get out of there, right? But, yeah, I do. So hold on, I won't do the dig in. So that's 4 of the 6. I can get 2 more, so let's go and get a tactics and an AT gun. There we go. All right, so intel happens first, okay? Yeah, I agree, Sue. Sue Park says, crappy rulebook. Nice production. I guess, I mean, at least I have the original edition here, so I can't speak to that. Chris, I haven't played Field Commander Alexander, which is probably going to be the one I want to play the most. So good to know. All right, so we'll go and do it clockwise. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and re-roll on a 5 or a 6. Looking for a 3 or a 4. A 4, okay, that's not so bad. So he loses his dig in, absorbs a hit. I'm okay with that. That seemed like a good spend of 2 points there. Okay, so now that that is done, I will go ahead and do my AT guns next. So a 1 or a 2 is a hit. That is a canted die for those scoring at home. See? It is on its edge, so that is a reroll. Oh yeah. And any war gamer out there will agree that should be a reroll. So that's 1 hit. Done. Oop, wrong one. So that goes up there. And now he's going to roll for his disrupt. Looking for a 6. Bottom line. Woo! Yeah, there we go. So no effect. I don't lose. Oh, that couldn't have gone worse for him right there. All right, so we are the attackers. So let's go ahead. We will do it top to bottom again. So we're looking at the first numbers on this. So it's going to be 3, 3, and then a 6 is an auto hit, but a 3 or less is 2 hits. So 3, 3, and then hopefully 3 again. So here we go. Miss. I can re-roll. I'll save it. That's a hit. And that's a hit and a double hit. So it's going to be a total of 3 hits right there. So 3 plus 1 here is going to be a total of 4 hits. So both of his guys are going to die. They're on the defensive. It's the middle number. I realize they're all the same, but it's going to be 2s and 2s. That's a hit. And a miss. I'll take that. So one of my guys get hit. All right. So both of them will die. One of my guys will get hit. I guess. 3, 1, 2 to 1, 1, 1, or that one. Yep, we have to do it that way. Oh, that hurts. All right, so we didn't use our re-roll, but so be it. It was there in case we needed it. We were saving it for the Panzer. All right, so all of the hits have been done, and now advance if all of the enemy is destroyed. I may advance to any one location, I believe it is. Thank you, Gooserino, for validation on that. So exploit says, attackers or defenders can use exploit. If the opposing forces are destroyed, the remaining forces of the exploiting side can move one area after they receive their upgrades. The owner of the exploiting forces may pay 1 supply for each force moved. The allies treat this move as an advance. You, the Axis, can move any of your forces one area, but you're free to choose the area. If it puts it into enemy forces, you now have another battle. And even though it's the other side's turn, the exploiting forces are the attackers, which makes sense. Okay. All right. So let's get back to that real quick. So the battle is over, but now remove the destroy forces, relocate surviving forces, and upgrade. So for each destroyed force, the opposing side upgrades one of their own forces. Well, now, we have a choice. I could, I have 2 because I killed 2 units. I could flip this over to that side. It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. I could upgrade this one, which, oh my, I don't think I need that, honestly. So no, I'm not gonna upgrade that. What I could do is I could draw a new one and then choose the other option to upgrade the new one with the for the Totenkampf. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I will draw randomly one of these guys, okay? If it's flat, if it's not flat, it does not stand. All right, and we got a veteran. Okay, so now, I think, honestly, it doesn't help the offensive nature of that. But that would put it at a 2 and 1. No, we're not going to. So instead, we're going to upgrade that one to an elite. So that's now a 4, 2, 3, 2. That'll work. That's pretty cool. I dig that. I like that system. That's really clean and really easy. All right. So now, these guys are now in there. But we have the exploit, so we can go ahead and advance for the cost of supplies. Honestly, I think they're just going to get out of there. And that cost me 1 supply. Okay, done. All right, so now non-battle moves. So these 3 have all moved. They have not, because I'm looking at if they don't move, that's going to get me 2 extra resupply points. So I think they're going to actually hang out. I think it's worth it for me to not do any non-battle moves. And now supply check, we're good because of the exploit, so we're good there. And now resupply. So access resupply for me. Everything making sense now that we kind of got a bit of a groove going with it. So I have one allied objective held. I have Cambrai, so that's going to be 2. I have 2 for an Axis force that did not move, and another 2 for the allied forces that were destroyed, for a total of 6. Well, I think I'm going to pay 1 to be able to... Ooh, you know what? One little mulligan. These guys can move to anywhere. They're going to move up to Lille, right there. The reason for that is I'm then going to spend 1 of those 6 here to go and get 2 supply points. So that's going to put from 1 to 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring out the 31st Panzer. And where? It's going to come in here at Lille, because I can do that because I now control that space. Because during the exploit, they could have gone up to Lille. There we go. That works. That'll do, pig. That'll do. So these will now go back into their cup. Okay. Yeah, done. All right, that's our turn. So now the allies refit. They do have damaged units. So they have these 2 that are damaged. So they are going to spend 2 supplies per refit. So it's going to be a total of 4 supplies. So that's going to put them down to 2. And these guys will flip over. Okay. And now their operation check. So we're going to draw 1 of their operation counters. I appreciate the help getting started, guys. David especially. But also, who else was that helped out earlier? Mega Atlas. Appreciate that, y'all. All right, so here we go. Think force. That's what you want. Here we go. Of course it's go. Of course it is. All right. When you draw go, roll a die for every force in the Allied operation zone and move it to the particular starting location based on that chart. All right. So we'll go left to right. So you know what? Go left to right. We'll start with the 4th. So where do we want these? Paris? Paris? So 3 or 4, I guess. That's a 2. So the infantry is going to Lille, and they're going to Calais. Oh, that would have even been better, actually, in hindsight. Okay, so the first one is going to Lille. Oh, they're going to hate that. And that one's going to Calais. All right. If the area is held by an opposing force, you have a battle, but you keep fighting until one side is eliminated, ignoring press. Okay? The go will go back in there. For every advance counter, nope, don't worry about that. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to have a fight. In theory, it's going to be a quick one. Because there. There we go. All right. So they have 1 full. They have 2 supply points, so they're going to draw 1 battle plan. 1 battle plan only. And it's potentially going to take some supply points from me. And for me, I have one full, so that's going to be 2. A reduced German is 3. So that's going to be 3 points, 3 battle plan points. It's a fight to the death, right? I really want to keep my supply points. I really don't want to take any hits. But he only gets 1 swing at a 2 or less. And it's not worth 3 battle points, I don't think. Odds are it's going to take 2 rounds to kill him. Unless, you know what? I have 3 battle points. Let's just go ahead and do that. That'll work. Cool. All right, so we'll roll for his disrupt first, looking for a 6, hopefully. That's just like a 6, right? And that's a 2, so I lose 2 supply points, so down to 1. That goes away. All right, and is he the attacker when I draw go? I assume so, but you know what they say when you assume. It does not say, but I assume that they're going to be the attacker. All right? Yeah, I assume so. So they're going to attack, or check that first. We're going to hit with those. So we'll start with this, looking for a 2 or less, then a 3 or less. All right? Nope. And, yep. All right, so that's 1 hit. Cool. All right. That's what I needed. And now he hits on a 2 or less. Damn it! I really wanted to avoid that. So that was his hit. Then for me, I'm hitting on a 1 and then a 5. Okay. Nope. Yep. So it's 2 hits. He's going to die. I take 1 hit. Oh, dude, that hurts. 5, 3, 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll take the hit like that. All right, so these guys go back. Hits absorbed. And now it's a battle, right? So therefore, we upgrade. So I might as well get a new upgrade for this because I'm going to lose it anyways once that's healed. Same with that. So yeah, I might as well. Let's go ahead. And okay, I'm happy with that one. I'm really happy with that. That was a good draw. All right. So there's that, and remove the battle plans, and done. Okay. So these guys will go back to Lil. No worse for the wear, really. Not too bad anyways. And this guy goes back into the cup now. Because technically we're in his turn, so I won't get... Ooh, Hold on one second. No, that does not. I believe that stays there. So hold up. Because I get credit for that, and that's one less unit that can be drawn. So hold up. All right. So that is his operations check. That is done now. All right, so now his allied orders. And his orders are coming up here. So let's see what we got. For allied forces in an objective, which there's only one right now, if there are two or less, they hold. So the British tanks right here are going to just hang out here in Arras. Okay? And that's it. Then for allied forces not in an objective, we're going to roll. Okay. So let's go ahead and start down here in Paris. All right. So that's just going to be a straight die roll for that. That's a 3. 3 moves towards Paris. Done. He's already there, so he just hangs out. All right. Then let's go ahead and do Reims. And Reims gets a +1 per allied force in the region. So they're both going to roll. And they'll both be a +1 on the dice. So the first one will go left to right. So that's a 3 and a 5. A 3 is move towards Paris, and a 5 is random. So the move towards Paris, that is going to go there, towards Paris. And then a random, and is it literally any direction, or is it only empty ones? Let me double check. Literally, it's any random. So if that's the case, so since he's here, random would be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. That's awesome, Gooserino, and I believe you. 5, 6. That was not exactly what we were looking for. So he will go there. There will be a battle, but these guys are done. Those guys are done. That's done. They are not yet. So the 2 in Calais, they're going to get a +1 respectively. So let's see what they're going to roll. We'll go top to bottom. That's a 7 and a 2. So a 7 is advance, and a 2 is toward Cherbourg. So in that order, 7 and 2. So this one will come down and play a game of Le Havre. Ah, that's really not what I wanted there. Okay. And then the advance, move each of their forces one area towards the closest Axis force. Well, that's really simple, so that's going to go into Lille. Okay. So there's going to be 2 battles. The one in Lille and the one in Dinant. Okay. That's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of the fight in Dinant. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right. That will go there. That will go there. All right, so he has 1 full unit, and he has 2 supply points, so it's going to be 1 battle plan for him, and I get 1 BPP. And I have 1 supply point here. Do I want to use that supply point to get a second? Well, let's draw and see what they have first. All right, right? Okay. Ambush. Roll first during the first round of battle. Okay. Do I want to spend my supply point on this? Not really. I mean, I would get another reroll, right? And because this is after the Allied orders, we are the defenders. So we do not, all we have to do is survive. We are the defenders. So you know what? We're just going to go ahead and take the reroll. All right, so he's rolling first. He's hitting on a 2. And we are the defenders, and we're hitting on a 2. So, all right, 2 and 2. So he's up first. He missed. And now we get 2 rolls. That is not even close. Like, I don't know where he was even aiming at. Failed. But that's okay. We just cussed at each other across a line, and then he leaves. Okay. Not the end of the world. So he came from Reims, didn't he? So he will go back to Reims. He will hang out here in Dinant and say, go back onto your other side. And now we will have another battle over here. All right, so he has 1 full unit and not enough supplies, so it's going to be 1 battle plan for him. Dig in. He absorbs a hit. Blech. All right. And we have 2 reduced German units, so that's going to be a total of 2 points. Do I want to spend a 3rd? Interestingly enough, I could use intel, which removes that hit. I mean, it's basically, but I don't need, but I would like to kill him. I actually really want to be able to kill him. So I have 2 BPPs. I'm going to go ahead and spend my last supply point. That's going to give me a total of 3 now. Odds are I'm only going to have 1 hit. So I will spend 2 for the intel, which gets rid of a random one. It's going to be that one. And then I might as well try. I don't want to give him another chance to hit me. I'm the defender. So I'm going to take the, it's a 1 or a 2, it doesn't matter. It's either this or the reroll, right? Yeah, because I need the extra hit instead of a reroll. That would be ideal. Okay, that gives me a chance for 3. Okay, so the AT gun will swing first. So come on, low number. All right, that didn't work. So now that's done and that's done. That didn't work. So now we need to hit as the defender. Stop that. As the defender, we're going to check that. He hits first, so it's going to be a 3. That was a hit. That sucks. So one of my units is going to die. And now I'm hitting on a 2. And a 2. That's all I want, is a couple of 2s, a pair of 2s. Perfect. And perfect. Alrighty. But I survived. He didn't kill both of them. So the Totenkampf is dead. And now he's going to get an advancement. God, that's ugly. Okay, but he's got to bug out. So he's going to go back to Calais. Tutankhamun is dead. This will technically come in here, and now he's going to draw. That's really interesting, Gooserino. And what do we have? He gets another BPP. Okay. So another battle plan point. So for him, I imagine that is just an extra battle plan draw for him. Okay. All right. So there, he got his upgrade. Now we're going to do his allied resupply. All right. Roll once for Cannes, Calais, and Paris. And I don't hold any of those, so we're just going to roll 3 times. And straight up rolls. All right. 2, 6. Oops. Really? 2, 6, and 2. 2, 6. So 4 supply points and 2. Okay, so he gets 4 supply points, puts him at 6. There we go. All right, he's done. Move into May 28th to June 4th. Our turn. Refit. 2 supplies. We have none. Ah, that hurts. Battle moves. So this is actually a really interesting situation, I feel like, right now. And here's why. So the 31st Panzer is pinned in. They're going to move down here. But the question I have is, do I move the 78th Artillery in here to try and take out both of those tanks? And then leave the 25th Panzer to go 1 to... I don't have supply points. Never mind. So it's moot. But if I did, the question was free, and then 1, 2, and then move into Le Havre to hopefully kill him, and then move into Cherbourg. But as it is, everybody's just going to move in there. Yeah, I have to. But I lose that if I do. Son of a... but I have exploit. I could always move backwards if I want. Okay, so yeah. Everybody's going to come in to Arras. So there we go. Okay. That's not terrible. So here we go. It's a big old tank battle going on here. All right, so he has 2 full allied, so it's going to be a total of 2. He has 6 supply points, so it's going to be +1, and he'll drop 1 to a total of 5, which means he will still get another supply battle plan. So he's going to get 3 battle plans, it looks like. Okay. I found it interesting, Gooserino. So 1, 2, 3. These don't look like good ones for if you're me. Jeez. And we're attacking, right? Oh, good Lord. All right, so what do we have? We have 2 full and a reduced for a total of 5 points. Well, I have to do this, so I'm down to 3. Man. Oh. I mean, I feel like I need to do that because all of those suck. So I have one left. Do we press? Press or tactics? Tactics. There we go. There's our 5. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Whew. All right. Well, here we go. So we'll start with Intel. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. So there goes overrun. Okay. That's all right. So Intel is done. We get 1 reroll. So we're attacking. We're getting the bigger number. Here we go. So that's going to be a 4. But if we draw a 1, it's a double hit. So we'll start with that. We'll just do this dramatically. It's a big fight. So a 1 ideally, but a 4 or less. Jeez. Before we decide on our tactics, let's look at this. This is going to be a 4 or 2 or less gets 2 hits. And that is a automatic hit, and a 3 would be 2 hits. I feel like we got to re-roll this. We need this hit. We got to have this hit. Yeah, we're going to use our tactics and re-roll it now. Need a 4. That'll work. There's 1 hit. So that one's done. All right, so 78th Artillery is going to hit on a 4 and a double hit on a 2 or less. Come on. 1 time? Nope. That hurt. Elite my ass. And now here, 25th Panzer is an automatic hit. 2 hits is going to be a 3 or less. Wow. A total of 2 hits. Which, wait, hold on. Hold on. Even before I do that, technically, his stuff should have gone off. I apologize. So air raid and artillery. So we'll do the air raid first. I forgot. That was impressive. That was impressive. That's a miss on the air raid, and now we need another big number for the artillery. That's a 2, so that's 2 hits. So that's going to change things. I mean, it's going to have to be that. And I think it would be that. Yeah, done. All right, so now he gets to swing back. He's the defender, so it's going to be 3 and 3 respectively. Miss and a hit. So 1 hit. All right. So he's taken 2 hits, so both of these are going to be damaged. And I'm taking 1 hit, and it's going to be the artillery, which, oh, that hurts, man. It's got to be. So, yeah. Ouch. There, and that goes away. All right. And he gets to draw, and one of those gets it because he killed one of mine. So we're going to draw his. We'll put it on the top one because they're the same. There we go. Ay vey. All right. So these come back in. These guys hold us. That will go there. That was not good. Okay. That's the battle moves. Non-battle moves. Ouch. The fact that I have no supply points is crushing, right? So non-battle moves, moment. More than one area costs the supply. So I can't even bring him into Lil if I were to move the, oh, he can only move one now anyways. Oh, that hurt. That was a devastating loss for me. Okay, no non-battle moves. So supply check, we're safe. There's 2 here and 1 there. And resupply, I control 1, so it's going to be 2 points. They didn't move, that's 4 points. And that one is going to be 5 points. I really need supply, but I also need forces. I don't know what to do here. The only reinforcement I have is the Panzer unit, but they would have to come here in Liege. And if I bring them in, they can only advance 1 space during the non-combat for the simple fact that I have no supply points. So that's not going to happen. So I'm going to spend at least 2 of the 5 that I have, dropping me down now to 3 to give me 4 supply points. Of those supply points, I'm going to spend 2 of those to put me down to 2, to move this over, which then will come over there for the 78th Artillery now to be available again. And that leaves me 3 points to be able to bring it out. Or I could get 6 more supplies to be able to hopefully heal these guys. But I need more. Oh, man. Whoo, hoo, hoo. Because these guys are going to heal. Oh, Lordy. No, I didn't soften them up. It only looks like I did. You know what? This might be dumb, but I'm going to use the other. I'm going to use them all for supply points. So it's going to be 6 more. So it's going to give me a total of 8 supply points. This way I'm ready for. I basically punted on 6 points by doing that. There, I have to be able to refit. I have to get those panzers up. Even though I'm going to lose all of those. Well, I might not do this one, right? Yeah, but I have to get those panzers. It just basically punted on one round. Yep. All right, so the Allies are going to spend, let's see, he has those two that need refitting. So it's going to be 4 points for supply. So this is going to go away, and these will flip over. Done. And at least those aren't going to attack. They're just going to stay right there. So there's that. All right. So there's his refit. Now he's going to do an operations. Okay. Draw a force. All right. How about some weak infantry? That'd be great. Hey, there we go. All right, cool. That'll do. All right, operation check now. That's that. Now, Allied orders. Okay. Okay. All right. Allied orders. So if 2 in the objective they're holding, they're going to hold theirs, then everybody else is going to dance. So here we go. We'll go ahead and we'll start over here in Le Havre. We'll start with there. So let's see. There's no, and everybody else is by themselves except for Paris. So let's go and roll for the Le Havre one. That is a straight up 6. That's an advance. I believe that moves towards units, right? Yeah, so that, oh, interesting. So that is actually going to move there. And now the Chaucers have a +1 in the out, so they're going to roll at a +1. Oh, sorry, you guys moved from Le Havre to there, so now he's going to, you know what? Hold on. Is this supposed to be simultaneous? Nope, the order is my choice. I chose poorly, apparently. All right, so let's roll. So is that a +1? That's a 7. That's an advance. And if equidistant, I get to choose. So Chaucer's here can go to Amiens, because this is the closest one, to Lille or to, we're not going to put them in Arras. The obvious one you would think would be to put it in Lille, since I'm going to come here and try and come down, but if I do, then my reinforcements can't come into Lille. And if I put them in Amiens, then it's one harder. It's one more thing that I have to get through. I'm going to have to do. Yeah, he's coming into, he's going there. Yuck. All right, so done. Reims. That's a 2 towards Cherbourg. Okay. Goes to Paris. Could my ordering of this be worse? +1 per allied force in a region. Now we'll do these left to right. Like, come on, man. So that's a 6 and a 3. A 6 is an advance, and a 3 is to Paris. So, all right. So that means this one's going to advance, and they're going to go there. Damn it, I didn't want to get in a fight right now. All right. Oh, I cannot. Oof, I cannot take a hit. All right, he doesn't have any supply points for all. He has 1 supply point, so he's going to get 1 battle point here. One battle plan, sorry. Have a good one, Renee. Yeah, I'm going to need more than luck, Renee, at this point. He rolls first. And I get a total of 2 battle plan points, but I have a ton of supply points. But I really don't want to use them if I can help it. But I got to make sure that I protect myself. So let's see. That absorbs 1 hit. So that's going to be 1 supply point right there. All right, I have to do that. So that's going to go away down to 7. Yeah, because I cannot lose those panzers. Yep, all right. So he's the attacker. He's rolling a 3, as it were. Okay. Of course, it's a hit. That's 1 for him. And now I'm the defender. I'm going to be hitting on a 2 and a 2 respectively. There's 1. Hey, that was completely unexpected. That's 2 hits. But he hit, it's absorbed. He takes 2 hits, he dies. Well, that'll do. And now one of those gets upgraded. Which one do we want to upgrade? That's a 1-1-1 or a 2. Oh, yeah, we'll upgrade that like so. That'll work. There's a nice little turkey shoot, but didn't realize it. Hold on. If I put him in Lille, could the Panzer battle move from Liege in one go? I'm not quite understanding what you're asking, Gusarino. So these guys will come back there. That will go into the cup. So you're saying if I move that there, I could bring them in and then fight in Lille. It would cost me 2 supply points to do that. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. Doesn't really change anything whatsoever. So yeah, okay. I'm fine with that. All right. All right. So Allied resupply now. All right. For each area, I am not in any of them, so we're going to roll. So just straight up die rolls. 4s or higher is all that matters. That's a 5, a 4, 5, and a 4. In what order was that? Shoot. The 5 was the first one, wasn't it? All right. So the 5 is 4 supply points, so that'll put them at 5. There. And then the second one is Calais, is going to be 1 force. So we're going to draw 1 for Calais. Yeah, I see. I would probably go to Lille anyways, you're right. So this one's coming out in Calais. Oh, okay, that's good. The 50th. Okay, that's not so bad. That's his resupply. We advance the round marker. Refit. Oh, thank God. I need the extra hits, though, man. So that's 2 points to flip this over. But the nice thing is that flips down to veteran. So I don't lose it completely. So at least there's that. And then another is going to drop that down to 3. Which flips that over, and I lose that one. But, okay. So now, do I spend the 2 for this? I don't think so. No, I'm not gonna. That's it. All right. So that's it for the refit, and let's do it. This is a big one. We gotta have this. All right, here we go. All right, so he has 2, he has 5 points, so he's getting an extra plan, -1, so he's down to 4. So he's getting 1, 2, he's getting 3 supply plans, 3 battle plans. Hey, Kai. Yeah, I think I'm enjoying this more than Napoleon, believe it or not. Yeah, I think so. Finally got the German half of OCS, Smolensk set up. Well, we're working on it. 3 dog. Knight. Wow, and he drew intel. That's fun. So I'm looking at 4 points, or I could have up to 7. But I kind of want to keep my supplies. I need those. So I have 4 points. Oy vey. Do we just do artillery? That way we're not guaranteed a hit. I shouldn't say that. Or we could do an assault. Yeah, you know what? That's going to be a guaranteed hit. Oh, God, no. He has intel. Ah! No, I can't take the chance. Okay, so we have 4 points right now. We're going to press. There's 1. A reroll is 2. I mean, do we get the AT guns just as possible fodder? I was thinking about intel. Because that's going to cost me a supply point if I do that, isn't it? No, I have 4 total, don't I? I do. All right. And I believe our intel goes first. I believe. Oh, it offsets the intel. Yeah, intel v intel. Is that worth it? Hold on. I don't know if that's worth it. I really want to make sure that press remains. I have 4 points worth to spend here. So you know what? I'm going to spend one of my supply from 3 down to 2. And that gives me 5 battle plans points there. So now his intel, it's less chance that he hits my press, right? I think so. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And re-roll on 5s and 6s. 2. So the tactics is going to go away. Phew. All right. That's all right. And his intel goes away. And now we'll roll for his disrupt. That's a 3. Of course, it's going to be 2 supplies, so all of my supplies are now gone. Golly. Whoo. All right, so I'm attacking. But first, air raid, we'll go with the easier of the two. So 1 to 3 and a 1 to 2. That's a hit. Damn it, should have done it in the other order. Oh well, that's 1 hit. We're going to go 2 rounds. All right, so I'm hitting on a 5, double hit on a 2, hitting on a 6, so automatic, and a double hit on a 3. So I want a 2 and a 3, ideally. Yes! Finally a double hit. And a single hit. So that's going to be 3 more hits. That killed him. Finally. There. And now he gets a +1 on his defense here, so he's hitting on 4s. Okay? That's 1 hit. No, wait. He hits on 4s or lower. Check that. That was a 5, right? So he missed on both of them. There we go. That goes away. We didn't need the press in hindsight because we got lucky. And both of his tanks are dead. All right. So we get 2 more draws now. Well, I'll draw 1 first and then decide. Okay, well, doesn't really help. But what is the reverse side? Hey, Jess. So the reverse side of that is really good for defense, but eh. Yeah, I think we're going to go there. Because at least now it helps him to put him at an automatic 6, right? So that'll work. All right. So we have taken over Arras. It's taken a while, but we have taken it. Now we don't have Cambrai anymore, but that's okay. All right. So now non-battle moves. Now he will go there. Yep, that'll work. Supply check, no more than 2 in an area. We're good to go. And now the Axis resupply. All right. So what do we have here? 2 per allied objective held. 2, 4. I didn't have anything that didn't move this turn since the infantry came in. So that's 4. And then 5, 6, and that's 7. So is that the Panzer and 2 supply points, or a Panzer and 4 supply points? I think it is. So Panzer is going to have to come into Liege, and that's going to be 4 supply points. Yeah, that's it. That'll work. So there's our resupply. That worked out pretty well. And all these guys now go back into their cup. All right. So they're up. Refit. They have nothing damaged on the board, do they? They do not. So no refit for them. Operations. Yep. One advance. Okay. The operation forces will advance one area towards the nearest Axis force using normal advance rules when they receive their go order. Okay, all right. So that just hangs out and it becomes a faster move for these to go. Okay, got it. All right, that's not so bad. And now Allied orders. Okay. So up here, they have nobody in an objective. So there's that. So now we will just go, you know what? I don't want these guys to move it into Calais, but then they might move. Oof. What order do we want to do that? Let's go ahead and do Paris first here. So roll the D6 for the Paris spots, and they each get a +1 on their die rolls. So that's a 4. And a 4. Objective, and then another objective -1 supply. For each objective order rolled for a region, move their forces one area directly towards the closest flagged objective. If it's held by the Allies, treat it as a random. Right, okay. If they can avoid while moving, they will. And their forces must spend supplies to move more than one area. Spend one of their supplies for each of the forces that moves more than one area. If a supply can't be paid, it does not move. So, if I'm looking at that, that means it's going to move towards Cambrai, but they're actually both going to stop there. Oh, this sucks. They're not going to move a second movement because that's actually towards the objective, and we're going to have a fight there eventually. All right. So now, let's go and do Calais, top to bottom. So they're each getting a +1. That's a 2 and a 5. 2 is towards Cherbourg. And 5 is random. Okay, all right. So 2 towards Cherbourg is going to move to Le Havre, and then random. And the reason I kind of wanted to do this one first is with the random, there's so many options, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we'll re-roll on a 6. 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that actually worked out really well. All right, and then up north here, they're just rolling a straight roll. That's a 4. And towards the objective, so gonna kamikaze in to the Panzer. So we're gonna have 2 fights. We'll start with the Panzer one, the big one. All right, so he's getting, he only has 4 supply points, so he's getting 1 + 1, so he's getting a second one. So he's getting 2. Oh, okay. So we're getting 2, 4. We're getting 4 right now. Okay, so I have 4. I'll spend one of my 4 supply points, dropping me down to 3, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do intel, which will get rid of his intel. Done. All right, he's the attacker. So he's hitting on a 3 or lower. Good, he missed. And for us, as the defenders now, he's hitting on a 6, so that's an automatic hit, and a 3. So I'm not going to roll for the automatic hit because it's the second number. And a 3, so a 3 kills him. That'll work. A 3 or lower kills him. Let's do that. Nope, just one hit. So there. All right. Oh, nice. Okay, so he's attacking. He hits on a 1 because the press. So the press will now go away. He hits on a 1, but it doesn't matter because I have my dig in, which was going to absorb a hit. This is going to go away now. And defending, that's an automatic hit, and I just want to see if we can go ahead and overkill him. Good, don't waste it. All right, get those bad rolls out of my system. So that's going to be another hit from that guy. There, that, and that'll go there. And that gives us another draw or another upgrade. So that means both now are elite. So at least that was a positive to come out of that, I guess, right? Okay. All right, but now we just have to survive. That's it. Just survive. Duck and move, duck and move. All right, so I am getting 1 supply point. He is getting a total of 2 battle plans, and he's down to 4, so that's it. So 2 battle plans for him. All right, Bob. Well, when you just want to survive, press is not what you want. And I have 1 point. Okay, I want to survive. And I really would like to keep my supply points in a perfect world, but I have to survive. I could spend 1 supply to do intel to remove one of those 2. But man, he's the attacker, so he has to roll above a 2, a 3, and a 3. I could absorb 1 hit, but the problem is he's going to get 3 shots twice. Okay. Yeah, I don't even care about hitting him. I just want to not be hit. That makes that difficult. So intel costs me a supply point and only removes 1 of them. And if it removed press, I still got to avoid 3 shots. If I remove artillery, I have to avoid 4 shots at the point of 1 supply, as opposed to 6. I guess it does lower the odds. All right, fine. Talk myself into it. So I'll spend 1 supply point to get a second one, and I'll do intel to remove 1 of those. Top, bottom, 1 through 3, 4 through 6. So top 1 is going away, so no more press. Here we go. So his artillery. I need a 4 or higher, a 3 or higher, then a 4 or higher. That's all. And the artillery not only hit me, but blew me up hard. That sucked. All right, we tried. But at least as the defender, we can hit on a 2 or less. Let's try. Oops. Hey, he died a hero, right? All right, so he dies. He takes a hit, and he gets an upgrade. Okay. And the upgrades for him, upgrades one of their own forces. I mean, obviously I would prefer the top one, but I imagine it goes to the bottom one, but I'm not sure on that for upgrades, who it goes to. Upgrade full strength forces as much as possible before upgrading their reduced forces. I assumed that. Okay. So they took over Cambrai. Oh, come on, dude. All right. And now his resupply. I am not in any of those, so just 3 straight rolls for him. 4 or higher is all that matters. There's 2. And, okay, so we got a 6 out of all of those. And a 6 is going to be 4 supplies. It's going to be at 8. He's now at... That sucks. All right. There. Refit. Got nobody to refit. Battle moves. Okay, here we go. Basically going to kamikaze a little bit on this, okay? So battle moves, that's free. That's going to move in. That costs 1 supply point to move the second one there. He's done. Then the 25th is going to move in there as well. And that was free. And then that's free. And then my last supply point is going to be to come on down to there. Let's get it on. Dun da 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 da. I feel like I should be like playing Drago. I know Russia and Germany, but work with me here. Let's go ahead and do the, in theory, easier one. In theory. All right, so he gets, let's see, he's at 8. Oh, God. He's at 8, so he drops to 6. And he gets 3 supply plans, or 3 battle plans for that. Oh. 3, I said, right? 1, 2. I actually like that press. That one actually helps. That one didn't. All right. Double check the ambush one. Oh, that happens before my battle plans get to act. Oh, okay. All right, so I'm at 2 points. I'm at 2 points. I'm not worried about the press in this case. So I have 2, just straight up. I don't want to do intel because I don't want to have the chance of removing press in case I fail here. I think I do that with the 2 because the advance only advances 1 spot. Oh, and I can only do it if I have supply, and I don't. Supply. So, yeah, done. Okay. So he's going to hit. He's the defender. He's hitting on a 2. Really? Seriously? He's going to damage my Panzer? Really? All right, so the AT gun hits first, 1 or a 2? Of course not. Okay. And I assume that AT gun hits for both rounds, right? Yep. All right, so we're the attacker, so we get an automatic hit, which is going to be the dig-in, but ideally it would be a 2 or lower. Nope, that'll be the 1 hit, and that 1 hit is going to be that one. Done. Now it's going to be 1 more round. I'm not going to use my reroll because I take my damage now. There. Now I will use my reroll. So we're hitting on a 4 and 1 respectively, so I need to roll a 1 because I'm the attacker. Oh, sorry. AT gun first. Oh, God, do I need this to hit? It did. Whew. So that's done. So there's 1 hit. So now all I need is a 4 or lower, and I have my re-roll. So I get 2 rolls on a 4 or lower. Come on. Okay, done. We're not going to re-roll it. That's 2 hits. Done. And now he's the defender, rolling a 2 or less. Please don't. Oh, God, that'd be a sick joke, wouldn't it? Come on, man! I was just looking to see if tactics can be used to force the opponent to re-roll. Nope. Don't mess with the 50th. Took out a whole Panzer regiment. Jesus. Way to go, Rommel. All right, well, I killed him and he killed me. Yeah. So not only lose the elite part, but then that goes up there. I mean, all right, so he's getting a, let's see, one full, nothing for the reduced, but he gets an extra and loses a supply, so it's going to be a total of 2, and he's down to 5 supply. Of course he gets a reinforcement. Oh, come on, make it a tank. Make it a good one. All right, there we go. Yep. All right, there's that, and he gets the roll first. And we're looking at 4. All right, so that by the way, I just want to point out, outside of this battle, that's what's left on the board. Do you guys realize that? That's the only unit left on the board. Oh, that phone call is going to have to wait. So that's 2. I am the defender here, right? No, I'm attacking. I'm attacking. Golly. Yep, there you go. All right, so he rolls first. So he's defending. So, yeah, there we go. We'll do it in that order. Oh, you know what? Hold on. He should have another one. One more. I forgot about that. Hold up. All right, so he'll roll for that first. He missed, and now he gets to go. So he's, as the defender, it'll be a 1, a 3, and a 3 is what he's hitting on. Okay? A 1, a 3, and a 3. Miss, hit, and can it die? And a hit. So 2 hits. Well, all right. That'll be that, and that'll be that. Okay. Our turn. Good thing we pressed. So this will go away now. So 1 and 2 is what I hit on. Miss on the AT gun. Then we're the attacker, so it's a 5 and a 2 for a double hit and a 3-1. 5-2. That's 1 hit and a 3-1. That's a miss. So 1 hit. Hold on one second. Hold on. That's 2 hits. And now we're going to roll. Because you don't allocate hits until after both sides get to swing at their respective things. So my AT gun missed. But here it's a 7-3. So technically it's a guaranteed hit, but a 3 and a 5-2. So now we'll roll. So a 3 or lower is 2 hits. Okay, no. Or a 5-2 is 2 hits. No, so it's going to be 2 hits total. So 2 and 2. So now I will take those hits. He takes 2 hits, which is going to be, it must be 1 there and then 1 there. Now that gets rid of the press. Now our AT gun swings and then those reset. So 1 or a 2, of course not. And now we're going to be swinging at a 5-2 and a 3-1. It's 1 and a miss. 1 hit. His AT gun, and then, so it's going to be on a 1 or a 2, a 1, a 2, and a 2. So AT gun, miss, a 1, miss, a 2, miss, and a 2, hit. Of course it does. So that'll kill this one. And weakest first for him means I kill that one. That goes away. That goes. That goes. And I have to bug out from where I was. Okay. So that goes there. That goes there. And there. I have 1 unit on the board, and I need to take 3 objectives. Not good. Non-battle moves, none. Supply check. I think I'm in supply. That checks out. Yep. Access resupplies. So I have an objective, so that's 2. And then 3 more there. That's a total of 5. I think I concede at this point. And the only reason I'm saying that is if we work through this, right? I only have 1 unit available here. So I have a total, here, let's work through this. I have a total of 5. I know I'm going to have to drop that down to get at least 2 supplies. So there's that. Those 2 supplies then are going to be to grab something. And I think it would be to put that over there. Yeah, I just don't see how this works. I have to have reinforcements, exactly, right? So there goes those 2 supply points. If I drop this down to 3, I get 2 supply points. I can get, say, this one in, and the only place this can come in is there. So even in a perfect world, even if that happens, next turn, this advances, I then have to be able to get something over here by the end of that next turn, and there isn't enough movement in which to be able to do so. So I'm going to lose. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't, because Yeah, I can't get movement enough over there, so that's it. I'm calling it there. Oh, that battle at Le Havre. Oh, the 50th took out the Panzer. Which one was it? Which Panzers got taken out? The 15th Panzer? No, 31st Panzer. Yeah, David says, great playthrough. This really shows how the battle can change quickly. You had a chance until you lost Le Havre. Le Havre, yeah. Le Havre was the death knell for me. Oh, ambush hits are inflicted before the ambush units fire. Okay, well, apparently according to the FAQ, I should have done that. Only made it worse. So there you go. That's I did say before we got started that this is a really hard scenario to actually win. But I will say that I wouldn't have scored a lot of points, but I do feel that had I won the battle at Le Havre in June 15th, 1940, the Battle of Le Havre, forever gone down in history. Had I won that, I think I would have at least succeeded, if not won. You know, succeeded, if not score a lot of points, is what I'm saying. So, all right. So, yeah, let's, wow, I haven't even touched any of my teas. Oh, that's going to be overbrewed. Oof, a moment. All right. Oof, that was rough. So let's talk about the game design. I think I like this better than I like Field Commander Napoleon for a couple reasons. One, I think it's a little bit cleaner. And somebody had said earlier that the tactical board just felt like a step further than I think it needed to be. I think so. The theme helps, the setting in this for me helps, because I much prefer World War II over Napoleonics, and I think I would like Field Commander Alexander even further than World War II. So even having not played that, that is probably highest of the three, at least as my interest level goes. Just because the theme happens to be the one that I don't own. Component quality, whatever, it's fine. But again, this is the first edition. I don't have the deluxe edition, so I can't speak to that one. Other than that, I think it actually flows pretty well. I do think that it does help, because unless you are a dedicated solo player that is going to have playing this really, really often, I think printing off this file off of BGG is really, really helpful. Apparently the FAQ is going to be really helpful for stuff like that. David says, I'd like to see you do another run on a different scenario when you get a chance. Yeah, I would. I mean, honestly, I would like to do the Desert Fox one, right? You know what? I can show you guys those real quick. So give me a second and I will show you this. So there are 3 scenarios that come in a box. The aforementioned North Africa, campaign for North Africa. No, not that game, but there you go. As you can see, it is a longer game. I'll go over it in detail as we go along. But then there's also another one, which people may or may not know. But Rommel was in charge of the defenses for the Atlantic seaboard for D-Day. And they were not expecting D-Day to happen when they did. So he went off and was visiting family, I believe, for a birthday, or friends for a birthday. And everybody was too scared to wake up Hitler. And those few hours that things got delayed allowed the U.S. to secure a beachhead on the various beaches. Sword, Juno, Gold, Omaha. There you go. So yeah, this one looks hard, for sure. And this one is it's basically a never-ending wave. It's almost like a tower defense game, this one. Like, you're going to get overwhelmed, and you notice the points go in the other direction on this, so it's just a matter of holding on as long as you can, as opposed to here, your goal is to take over Cairo, and if you ever lose Tripoli, the game ends. So this is the one that I want to play because, I mean, it's what Rommel's most known for, right? So, yeah. So, yeah, I think I could probably do this in a couple weeks. I think so. Next week, I'm not going to be able to, but in a couple weeks, I think so. Yeah, okay. Christopher, obligatory no Canadian counters for the D-Day scenario, grumble, grumble. Fair. Canadians, were the Australians on that too? Or was it just Australians? I think there were Kiwis in there as well, right? But yeah, the Australians were bad mofos. Seriously. So I hear you, Christopher. Cheers. Did you know Tripoli is exactly 50% bigger than Dublin? No, Gooserino, I did not. And why is that? And I realize it's apples to eggplants. Did you prefer this or Marcus Aurelius? Give me a minute to remember Marcus Aurelius. I realize I just streamed it last week. A lot's happened since then. Before I played this, I would have said absolutely no doubt Marcus Aurelius. Even having not played this because Field Commander Napoleon just, for me. Legitimately, I am forgetting the details of Marcus Aurelius. So give me a minute. Now I'll answer that. Like, I don't need to see much of the playthrough. I just need to see a picture of it. Like, I cannot picture it in my head. Oh, right. Okay. Seriously, memory of a goldfish sometimes. I mean, one play each. Caveat. It's close. But I think this, even though I prefer ancient Rome above just about everything else out there, time period wise, I'm trying to vocalize why that is. I mean, they're real similar, aren't they? As far as just feel of the game. So yeah, I'd say it's close, but you know what? Given the length of the play and everything, maybe flip a coin. It's real close. Would be my after one play of each. That would be my answer. Tripoli double. Oh, it's been a long day. All right, my bad. So yeah, I would say get whatever one is more interesting to you from a theme standpoint and cost standpoint, and go from there. So yeah, I mean, I know Hollenspiel's responsive to emails, so there's that. All right, that's it. That's all I got. That's Field Commander Rommel. I'm Edward. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumb. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe. Hell, go the extra mile. Throw a couple bucks towards the show every month. I appreciate it. By the way, if you guys go to pledgehc.com and that takes you to Patreon. If you are somewhere where there's VAT, wherever that is, it now is showing you up front the costs of what it will be. It's a new change on Patreon, so that like it's $6.04, so that I get $5 a month or whatever it is. rough idea, you get the idea. So they changed that recently, and I think that's a change for the better, so that people see it on the front end instead of later on, so that's a good thing. So if you guys did enjoy it, I certainly would appreciate the support. Thank you. A big thanks to everybody that joined me live, and especially to David and Mega Atlas, who helped me clarify some things there at the beginning and midway point, and then Christopher there at the end, as well as Kai. So I appreciate that, y'all. Cool. That was fun. So yeah, probably in 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and do the North Africa campaign on this, and it'll be a lot more speedy having to play under my belt. So I enjoyed it overall. Hopefully you guys did as well. With that said, I'm Edward. I'll see you guys, what is today, Wednesday? Tomorrow, we got a print and play for everybody. Me versus the Herd, a little pinball. So check that out. The link will be available later on tonight, and print off that sheet for the pinball from Jeff Engelstein and WizKids. We're going to be streaming that tomorrow, I think at 3 o'clock. So check it out then. Until then, I'm Edward. I'll see you all then. Take care, everybody.